can I get married in the U.S. if I'm married here in the Philippines, but I've been separated for 12 years? You may be able to get married, but the USCIS and Department of State is not going to accept that as a legal marriage. In order to legally marry and receive an immigration benefit with the USCIS and Department of State, you have to be legally married. And in order to do that, you have to prove that all prior marriages were legally terminated. Now, you stated Philippines, so if you're married in the Philippines, they don't recognize divorce. So you're going to have to provide an annulment document or death certificate, something like that. But to answer your question, you need to get that prior marriage annulled, even though you've been separated for 12 years. And if you have no contact with your ex, you can still file for an annulment, and you can process that without the other person. Now, you'll probably need to consult with a family attorney in the Philippines to do that. Anyway, you can get married in the U.S. They wouldn't know about it. We don't have a marriage record, in the United States like they have in the Philippines with the PSA. That's the Philippine Statistics Authority. I wouldn't bother with that. I wouldn't do that. Just get it annulled, and then you can file for a fiancé visa or file for a spousal visa after you're married.
Yeah, and I'll spend a minute on this one because it's important. You don't say if you're in the U.S. already or not. If you're trying to come here on a spousal visa or something, you're never going to get here because they're going to require you to get a certificate of no marriage, commonly called a CINAMAR, and bring that to the embassy with you for your interview. And obviously you can't produce that. You're not going to get a visa to even get here. But if you're already here on some other kind of visa, tourist visa or something, and you're thinking, I'll just go get married, they won't know. You might be right. You certainly could get married here because we don't check marriage registries. We take your word for it. You say you're divorced, we'll let you get married. But and I'm sure people have probably gotten away with that, but you really don't want to go down that road because once you commit that kind of fraud, even if eventually down the road, years from now, you become a citizen, all of that can be taken away and you deported if it's ever discovered that you lied for any immigration benefit. And it does happen. It happens many times a year. It seems to be, in fact, I think the current administration has assembled a special team to look into past fraud and so on. But even before the current administration, it has happened with other administrations, probably every administration, where you come up on the radar screen for some reason. Probably wouldn't be for this, but for some reason, they start investigating your past. They find that you lied for an immigration, could be 20 years ago, and it has absolutely happened. People have been here 20 plus years. They built a life, and all of a sudden, a lie is found on some past immigration benefit, like a green card application, and they get their citizenship stripped away and deported back to a country they haven't seen in 20, 30 years. So it can and absolutely does happen. So don't, it's very tempting. Annulments are expensive and can take up to a couple years in the Philippines, so it's very tempting for people to try to end run around this rule, go get married in a third country. We've seen that one. Try and do a proxy marriage. We've seen that one. You probably won't get away with it, and even if you do, you're going to be looking over the shoulder the rest of your life. Our advice is just don't do it. You might talk to an attorney. They may have another option for you that we're not aware of, but just to ignore that marriage from 12 years ago is not going to be in your best interest.
If you found this video useful, it would mean a lot to us if you could hit the like button and comment below to let us know what you think. You can also ask your own immigration questions in the comments below. If you want to make sure not to miss any of our future videos, we invite you to subscribe here on YouTube and be sure to click the notification icon so you can be alerted whenever we publish a new video. Also, don't forget to follow us on Facebook where you can watch our regular immigration Q&A live streams.